Building a legacy is a desire as old as civilization itself. Across centuries and cultures, humans have sought to leave something behind that endures beyond their lifetimes, whether through deeds, wisdom, art, structures, or the influence on others' lives. Yet, the ancient understanding of legacy is far deeper than mere fame, wealth, or monuments. True legacy, according to philosophers, sages, and thinkers of the past, is cultivated through purposeful action, virtuous living, and mindful cultivation of both personal growth and societal contribution. The ancient way to build a legacy begins with an understanding that the most enduring influences are internal, ethical, and relational rather than external or material, and that the quality of our daily choices accumulates over time to shape the world after we are gone. From the perspective of the Stoics, legacy is inseparable from virtue. Marcus Aurelius, while facing the immense responsibilities of emperorship, reflected consistently on the importance of integrity, justice, and reasoned action. He understood that reputation, wealth, and accolades are fleeting, but the imprint of virtuous choices on the lives of others endures. Epictetus, too, emphasized that the only possessions truly within our control are the choices we make, the character we cultivate, and the wisdom we develop. These internal achievements ripple outward, shaping relationships, communities, and even the moral framework of society long after one's death. The ancients recognized that external monuments may crumble, but the influence of a principled life resonates in minds, hearts, and cultural memory for generations. Legacy, in the ancient sense, is not about self-aggrandizement but contribution. Aristotle argued that a life worth living is one in which the individual actualizes potential and participates meaningfully in the life of the polis. The enduring impact of a person arises from engagement with others, teaching, mentoring, creating, inspiring, and guiding. It is through these acts that one's influence persists. When we build a legacy by enriching the lives of those around us, we transform our existence into a chain of positive influence, extending the reach of our values beyond the limits of our own lifespan. This principle emphasizes that legacy is relational, born from connection rather than isolation, from service rather than self-interest. A foundational element in creating a lasting legacy is clarity of purpose. The ancients consistently highlighted the importance of aligning action with values. Confucius, for example, emphasized moral cultivation and societal harmony as central to a meaningful life. He believed that individuals who pursue virtue, wisdom, and righteousness not only shape their own character but influence generations. Purpose directs energy, focus, and decisions, ensuring that each action contributes to a coherent, lasting pattern rather than transient success or distraction. Without purpose, even the most public achievements may vanish without trace, leaving no meaningful imprint on others or on the world. Time is an essential factor in legacy building. Ancient thinkers were acutely aware of the brevity of life. Seneca frequently reminded his readers that life is short, and that squandering it in trivial pursuits ensures nothing of value is left behind. By attending deliberately to the present, investing energy in meaningful actions, and focusing on what is within one's control, we cultivate achievements that endure. Small, consistent choices accumulate into influence over decades, shaping communities, families, and institutions. The daily practice of virtue, integrity, and intentional action becomes the scaffold of a legacy, constructed incrementally rather than in sudden, ostentatious gestures. Another essential principle is the cultivation of wisdom. Wisdom, in the ancient worldview, is the compass for enduring impact. It guides ethical behavior, informs decision-making, and enables one to act in ways that benefit others over the long term. Wisdom allows the individual to prioritize lasting contributions over fleeting gains and to anticipate the consequences of actions across time. Philosophers taught that a person who cultivates insight into human nature, societal dynamics, and the principles of justice creates an influence that persists as others adopt, learn from and extend these insights. Knowledge, judiciously applied, becomes a bridge to future generations, forming a legacy of thought, understanding, and guidance. Teaching and mentorship are among the most effective avenues to build a legacy. The ancients recognized that imparting knowledge, values, and habits to others ensures continuity beyond one's lifespan. Socrates, for instance, left no written works, yet his method, inquiries, and influence on students shaped philosophy for millennia. Aristotle formalized this in his own work, training disciples who then carried forward his ideas. By mentoring, advising, or guiding others in ethical and intellectual development, an individual's influence multiplies. This ancient principle underscores the relational dimension of legacy. It is cultivated not in isolation but through engagement, dialogue, and empowerment of others to act wisely. Action anchored in ethical principles is central to enduring impact. The ancients consistently emphasized that deeds aligned with justice, courage, temperance, and wisdom leave deeper traces than mere wealth or renown. Epicurus, though often misinterpreted as advocating pleasure alone, highlighted the importance of meaningful, virtuous action as central to a fulfilled life. By acting with integrity and consistently aligning conduct with ethical principles, one creates a reputation and a body of influence that resonates beyond the self. Even when forgotten in memory, such actions establish patterns in families, communities, and institutions that persist. Creativity and cultural contribution constitute another avenue for a lasting legacy. Art, literature, architecture, and inventions reflect the mind's engagement with the world and endure across centuries. The ancients saw these contributions as vehicles for ideas, values, and aesthetic sensibilities, carrying them into the future. Homer's epics, the sculptures of Greece, and the writings of Confucius illustrate that creative expression embeds the thinker's or artist's vision in the cultural consciousness, shaping thought, morality, and emotion long after their creators are gone. Legacy, therefore, is also the transmission of vision through enduring forms of human expression. Preparation for impermanence is integral to building a meaningful legacy. The ancients understood that all worldly things, wealth, possessions, status, are transient. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that human life is fleeting and attachment to ephemeral accolades undermines long-term influence. By focusing on contributions that are resilient to time, whether ethical, intellectual, or relational, one ensures that the impact endures. The practice of detachment from superficial rewards directs attention to elements of life that can be transmitted across generations: wisdom, virtue, mentorship, and cultural creation. Humility, too, is a key component. True legacy is not about boasting, seeking recognition, or asserting superiority. The ancient way emphasizes that influence is a byproduct of virtue, action, and contribution rather than self-promotion. Lao Tzu advised that one should act with care, cultivating harmony and balance, without craving applause. Humility ensures that legacy building is authentic, grounded in values rather than ego, and allows influence to grow organically. Recognition, when it comes, is secondary. The priority is the quality and integrity of action. Adaptation and foresight are additional factors. The ancients understood that circumstances change and that those who build enduring impact must anticipate and respond wisely. Wise leaders, thinkers, and innovators acted with flexibility, adjusting strategies while remaining anchored in principle. By considering the long-term consequences of choices, by balancing immediate needs with enduring goals, one constructs a legacy that is resilient, relevant, and capable of inspiring future generations. Family and community are vital channels for transmitting influence. Stoics and Confucian scholars alike emphasized the moral and educational responsibility of elders toward younger generations. Guiding, supporting, and nurturing the growth of families, students, and community members embeds values, habits, and knowledge that extend life's influence beyond the individual. This relational focus ensures that legacy is lived and enacted continuously, not merely memorialized in stone or text. By prioritizing mentorship, ethical guidance, and communal engagement, the individual's choices echo across generations. Reflection and documentation further secure a legacy. Writing, recording thoughts, or establishing systems that preserve knowledge and insight are methods long practiced by the ancients. Pliny, Seneca, and Confucius preserved letters, treatises, and reflections that continue to influence centuries later. Through reflection and documentation, the individual extends influence beyond direct relationships, embedding insights into a record that can guide, educate, and inspire long after physical presence ends. Legacy is strengthened when ideas are made accessible and intelligible to future minds. Persistence and resilience are integral. Ancient thinkers repeatedly noted that enduring impact requires consistent effort, patience, and moral courage. Immediate results are rare. The fruits of virtue, wisdom, and ethical action often appear over years or generations. By maintaining commitment to ethical action, personal growth, and contribution despite setbacks, one ensures that the pattern of influence continues. Legacy, like a cultivated garden, requires care, attention, and persistence over time, often without immediate recognition or reward. The integration of personal and societal benefit embodies the full vision of legacy. The ancients stressed that true influence is not self-serving but oriented toward the flourishing of others. By combining personal growth with contributions that uplift communities, societies, or cultural life, one ensures that the impact is both deep and broad. Virtuous action, mentorship, creative expression, and ethical conduct intersect to create a network of influence that reverberates across individuals, communities, and eras. Ultimately, the ancient way to build a legacy teaches that external markers, wealth, titles, monuments, are ephemeral, while internal cultivation, virtue, contribution, and wisdom endure. By living purposefully, acting ethically, mentoring others, creating enduring cultural or intellectual works, and practicing humility, we construct a legacy that survives the inevitable passage of time. Each choice, action, and reflection contributes to the tapestry of influence that will persist beyond our physical presence. To embody this approach today requires daily awareness and intention. Every decision, interaction, and effort is an opportunity to add to a coherent pattern of influence. Reflection, mindfulness, and ethical deliberation ensure that actions align with enduring principles. Mentorship, teaching, and contribution to others multiply the reach of influence. Creative and intellectual work ensures the preservation of ideas. Detachment from superficial rewards maintains focus on what truly endures. Through this disciplined, intentional practice, one builds a legacy rooted not in transient accolades but in lasting impact. The ancients remind us that life is brief, and the pursuit of ephemeral gain often obscures what truly matters. By aligning with wisdom, cultivating virtue, engaging meaningfully with others, and creating lasting contributions, we leave a legacy that speaks across time. The ancient way is a holistic approach: personal cultivation, ethical action, relational influence, cultural contribution, and enduring purpose converge to produce a life whose effects ripple far beyond the individual. This is the timeless path to legacy: to live intentionally, act virtuously, and invest in the lives of others and the world in ways that endure beyond the confines of our own existence.